Real talk, just real talk. Yo, 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 yo. Real talk, yo, 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 yo. Real talk, just real talk. Yo, 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 yo.
Hi.
Yo, 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 real talk. Yo, 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 yo.
Hi.
Hi. Really cool.
Yes. Good
Yeah.
morning. Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah. Man, sorry, girl. This is really nice that we're talking now. Yeah, much respect to TCVO.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes. We just
yes.
got off the phone.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, can you introduce yourself for the audience, sister?
Yes, I am DJ MelSan, aka Melinda Malavos, and I'm located in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, okay, okay. That is really cool. That is yeah, you are actually there in Los Angeles, California?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm a little bit confused. What time is it there?
It is actually 4 o'clock now. I was up at 2 o'clock, so I was ready
What?
to.
Oh,
Yes.
crazy, crazy, crazy.
Hey, well, it's your show, you got to suit up and show up and be prepared,
No,
it's an opportunity.
no, 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 no. That is really for me. I don't want to bring people out of bed so early, but you're looking really yeah in a good shape and
I normally wake up around 4 o'clock anyway because the winners always wake up in the morning, right? The people who succeed in life, And I just completed grad school with two PhDs, so
okay.
the best time for me is the morning time. So I'm cool. This is
Oh,
no problem at all.
okay, sister. Then I can say okay, that is okay. So yeah, you are an artist.
Yes,
Is that right?
of
Uh,
many forms. Yes.
So what is your specialist? You can say this piece to the audience. Is that can you explain it?
Yes. So I actually do saxophone, I do drums, I play violin, I do piano, and then I also DJ where I do vinyl. I know sometimes in Hollywood now you touch a button and oh my gosh, you're a star. I don't do that. I vinyl press, I make the vinyls. I like the feel of scratching the vinyl and all of it. But my when I first started doing music, I started off at like 5 years old. My mother is Russian and my father's Arabic, so we always had pianos and drums and congos and stuff around. My mother was a famous model globally, and so I was influenced by so many amazing people and art. So I've been around some of the greatest, and the thing I found out the most is when they really were doing some of their best work, they just got into the flow of really being in their core, and they weren't on drugs either. Or alcohol. They literally were just in the flow of the spirit of who they really were. And so that really helped me as a child going through all the sufferings I've been through in my life and what I've had to walk through to be able to come out. And when I first started off music, it was like really hardcore, right? With like Yellow, when the B sides of Depeche Mode in Europe. I
Oh,
remember doing
oh, oh, cool.
in 2000. I remember in 89, right? I had started DJing at 13 years old, right? And I
Oh,
remember being in Polochka, Poland for like this big celebration for the new millennium. And it was my first time on set, and there were like 60,000 people there. And I had gone on and like, on the stage, I couldn't even look at people. Right, I was so nervous, and I was there with DJ Jules and stuff, and DJ Kioki, and then I come over to the states and start working with Suicidal Tendencies and Mike Murr, and that was crazy. So it was a little bit darker. It was a little crazy,
yeah, yeah.
but
No,
Go ahead.
no,
I'm sorry.
no, 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 no. You can go ahead. You are my guest. It's also you're a woman. So what can
No.
I do?
So I became DJ MelSan in the Infectious Grooves and started opening for Mike Murr, but it was a very dark genre because I was coming from a very dark spot in my life, even though I was, in the influences of being a model with Benetton globally from birth up to, 26 when my parents passed away. And there was just this whole thing in the aura, right? But then I was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer in '01, and it came back with a vengeance after 4 lumpectomies and localized radiation. And I ended up having to do double mastectomies and reconstructive surgery. And after that, I ended up in a coma for 10 and a half months. And I had a life death experience, and it changed me. Even though I came out paralyzed from the neck down, I knew I had met the one who created me, and I knew I had to change everything because what is up in the celestial realm isn't what's really here on this third dimension, right? There's a whole other reality that there's so much help and so much love for us to overcome all maladies in every form in every way.
No,
And
th-
my
th-
music changed with it.
sister, this is really awesome what you're telling me. This is you're already a fighting nature. I can say this is really. I'm really impressed what you're telling me. All you go in a really a suffering way from, but you're always standing there, and you still really sympathetic and all good. And yeah, what can I tell you? This is really for me. That is really and yeah, this yeah.
Well, what are you going to do when you suck at dying, right? You're going to live and live greatly. I suck at dying. There's no other way but to live.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But some people are crumbling to pieces, and I think you are standing there, and you're still standing. That is a really really a great character and a strong character. I can say this is not every people will doing this, facing this, and will standing there. And I heard also you are writing some books about your life.
Yes, I have 13 books. So about 3 weeks ago, so COVID, what I do for a living, not just the music has been amazing. It's been an important part of my life, right?
Mhm.
And genre and so forth. But I've gone from goth and speed to metal to progressive ambient trance, right? And so as the vibration has risen, you know, as a child, I was 13 years old when I first came over to the States. And, and I know, right? And so I came over from Moscow and we went to Estonia, through Estonia and then Sweden, New York, and then came down to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then I moved here to LA for cancer treatment at City of Hope, right? And, so I've been a world traveler and been all over the world and stuff. But when I got here to the States, I had been the authorities helped me get away from my family because they were doing horrible things and witches in the news nowadays. I never expected it to be in the news because it was so secretive, right? And growing up as a child slave and it never made sense being around people that have so much. My parents were billionaires in their own right, but sick psychopaths and pedophiles. And what I had to endure as a child going through that, and to know that I'm loved and valued, I had to go through so much addiction, everything. I mean, I just got like 10 years sobriety in April, which praise God for that because it's all about suiting up and showing up and be real, right?
Mhm.
And but you gotta, if nothing changes in your mind, nothing changes. So you have to be willing to have an open mind that, there's a new way, there's a new thought, there's a new opportunity, right? Every day I wake up and I'm alive again, it is an opportunity to share. And um but when I was going through all that, they told me you need to go to work, right, or go to school, and I'm like, well, screw school, because I was just such a rebel, I thought, right? So I started off as a dishwasher in a five-star restaurant in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is
Okay.
very famous globally. And I started off as a dishwasher, went all the way up in the kitchen, not even knowing that I even had an act because I was like almost out of mind, out of sight, right? I was disassociated negative. Most of the time, I wasn't even myself. I didn't even know because of the effects of the abuse was nonstop, and the authorities helping me get my life together. And, and here I am, a young girl going through all this. It was just insane, right?
Yeah.
And but cooking really did. So I became a five-star chef,
Oh.
and then after cancer, after my coma, I ended up in hospice because they said we're a done deal. The cancer had metastasized to my brain and my bones from my breast, and they threw me in hospice. And I was in hospice for a year, mind you. And I decided to walk out and beat it. And I said, I can't do this. I suck at dying. I walked out and I worked with Dr. Nathan Rab and Dr. Sabi, the famous Dr. Sabi,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Dr. Rab and Dr. Bergman, and my oncologist, of course, at UCLA Brain Center and so forth, like that. And I got off all the medications they had me on in hospice, and I eliminated it completely out of my DNA. I can never get cancer again. And I learned so much, and that's when I went on to get my master's, and then I ended up getting two PhDs, so that I can effectively work with people in mind, body, and soul, because it's a whole person. You just don't attack the disease; you deal with everything. So then I just started writing books about it.
Yeah.
So then,
That's really, sister. I'm really impressed by your life and what happened there. And sad things happens, but you turn it into good. And you are, yeah, yeah, visual is looking like you are full of energy and comes out, and you
oh,
wanna.
I'm excited. I'm alive. I like even my hair. This is 4-year old hair because I used to have no hair.
Oh,
And the website I sent you, you'll see the cancer support groups. That was a worldwide cancer thing that they featured me on, from the wellness community. I had no hair. That picture of me is a week after I came out of my coma. I was paralyzed from the neck down in that picture.
oh yeah, yeah. This is really, yeah. That's the story. I will say this coming close to me. I say, oh yeah, yeah. But I see you are there and you got positive vibes. Bring it to the people, and that is why I'm here for. I wanna give the people some good. This the people say, yeah, I can break free from all this
Yes.
stuff, and you are one of example of this. You're really good. You're doing really good. So, sister, then because I want to ask you some not really crazy
Yes.
question, and
It's
also
okay.
I say you said a lot about what I want to ask in. That is all good.
Yes.
That is all good. But
I know. It just goes, I'll be ready. And I'm like, I am. I can't hear you.
you can't.
Okay, now I can. Okay, you went out for a minute.
Well, okay. Then I watch it again on my yeah. Just turn it a
I
little
can
bit.
hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay, okay, okay. I thought about my microphone was gone the tone. So, sister, this is yeah. I think also it must not be all the time the same, and this is the kind of style I like in that to talking free. But I wanna know a little bit from you, like you are you do piano. You're a musician. You what is this? Composes tracks.
Yes,
More
yes.
like this. You're not singing. You don't working with your voice. Is that right?
I used to work with my voice, but I used to smoke a lot and do a lot of crack.
Oh,
So, I
that is
mean,
so sorry for that laughing, but you say this like a comedian, like.
so I've actually been building my voice, and I'll tell you, I used to have to be really high to sing, and then what's been happening after cancer is I actually got a voice back.
Okay.
Right, I got the voice to speak. I got the voice to. So I've been doing my voice a little bit different, and I still condition it, so forth. But I've been really getting into like more the saxophone, and my violin and doing different modalities, right?
Okay.
Because I probably will start singing pretty soon.
Yeah,
But I
no,
had to clear out a lot.
no, no, sister. On my show, is that not? I want not have only singers or something like that. This is cool that some different artists coming around here, and the genres also. I like to have some, yeah, not regular rappers,
Right.
gangster rappers, something like
I
that.
know. I know the studio's great at what he does. We've been dear friends for many years, and when he asked me to be his manager, I was shocked because I was homeless because I my ex husband tried to kill me,
Oh,
and I had just gotten out of the hospital, and I was here feeling worthless, right? And he's like, "You ain't worthless, girl. God got you. Like you're a powerhouse, right?" And I don't know if you know about Hollywood and the hip hop generation that's going on. It's what they've done to the African American genre is horrible, and because there's a lot of talent out there, but unfortunately, a lot of their talent dies in the abuse of the music industry, whether it be demonic, Nephilim, Illuminati crap, which I came from, it is unacceptable to treat people, and it has become unhumane just for music. And I know people that are been in the industry because of my family, and I know them underground more than I know them out above on the level plane, right? Because of the work they've done underground to get notoriety on the upper ground. And I know that when it comes down to it and all is said and done, it's what is the condition of your soul? And is it really worth it to sell your soul for that? And you know what? Screw Lucifer. I want nothing to do with the devil.
yeah.
He's taken so much from me, my family, and everything. And I've had to walk away with nothing and let God rebuild me up again. Because my music and all the gifts I have come because of God, who loves me and wants me to succeed. And he does that with everybody. It's just a matter, are you willing to step into alignment with it? Are you willing to suit up and show up and be who you need to be
Uh-huh.
for why you're created at this place in this time? We're just not born here. We're not just here like dangling participles or, just wondering where are we going to go next, right?
Yeah,
We are I mean, there's no mistake that we're communicating right now. And
yeah,
you're in Germany and I'm
yeah,
in
yeah,
California.
yeah,
It,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it is no mistake. It is driven and, and we're made for a time like this. So, there are people that try to come and do their little snaky stuff with me. And I'm like, I just cut their head off and like, I'm over it,
Yeah.
because if the snake is dealt with, then he doesn't have to hurt anybody else.
No, no, sister, that is really cool, and this is a little bit coming close to my questions. I know now you are more using instrument to playing as a music or artist. That is right. So then I want to asking you about, but I thought is coming also out, but I asking this again. Who influenced you to do music?
So, my father is, when I grew up, my father had his grand piano, and he would get on there when he was really stressed out. And so I would end up going to the piano. And when I was stressed out, which was a lot, I spent hours and hours and hours. And back in the time, in the 80s in Saudi Arabia and Europe and Russia, when we would travel all over. My mom had estates all throughout southern France and so forth. So I would literally get on that piano and I would play for hours and I would listen, to Tchaikovsky, Mozart, Beethoven, because before the Nazi regime, it was actually 432 hertz and it was peaceful to myself and it helped me grow in so many ways because I understood the chords and I literally would sit there mimicking what I was hearing on the piano. And this is me at like 5 years old.
Oh,
My parents would look at me and they're like, "What are you doing?" Right? So the pieces that I actually sent you were right after I had survived being the attempt on my life by my ex, and everything. And literally, I just walked in off the streets, sat down, and started playing that off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And that is like, it's just a beautiful gift that I've been given. You know,
Yeah, yeah, that sounds really good, and I think yeah, we can listen to this for now
yeah.
because I'm really excited, and that is all the time the same on my interviews. I not listen before to the people's tracks, so that I get the first impression on this, and that is what happened now. So you can announce in that if you know the track, or is that um
Is it the one with the saxophone?
you sending me something over. I will grab in this on my desktop. I will watching this, and you can say
Okay.
down by the ocean. You sending me
Down
this?
by the ocean, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I play saxophone in this one, yes.
Okay. I'm running this. I'm running this. We can both listen to this. I'm a little bit more professional in the Zoom meeting now. I can share now with people's. Here's some music. Down by the ocean line. 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 Down by the ocean. Down by the ocean line. 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 Down by the ocean, where the water meets the skies, doesn't compare to your blue sparkling eyes. Down by the ocean, where the water meets the sky, doesn't compare to your blue sparkling eyes. Down by the ocean, where the water meets the skies, doesn't compare to your blue sparkling eyes. Down by the ocean, where the water meets the skies, doesn't compare to your blue sparkling eyes. Yes, sister. This for me really good sound.
Thank you. We just like were goofing off in the studio, me and a group of my friends and my partner DJ, and that's what we came up in the studio. That was like 7 hours, and you know, so
In 7 hours,
it
in
sounded
seven
great.
in 7 hours, you producing that track.
Completely everything, and that was my partner DJ Paul Andrew singing, and I help on the keyboards and mixing and soundtrack. Yes.
And you specialized, you special was on the saxophone the most time.
Yes, I did focus on the saxophone on this, and I've it's a sexy thing, you
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah, 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 yeah. And you need some air for this also.
Yes, because you can loop it, but it doesn't have the same feel,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
can loop the saxophone on Logic or Reason and everything, but there's nothing like really having the
yeah.
saxophone, and you can feel it in the music, right? It's like you can really feel it. The saxophone is really talking to you.
Yes, yes. Like, what is this? Amy Duffer.
Amy Duffer?
You know her?
No.
Lily was here. Lily was here. The track.
Ah, okay.
This is also a saxophone. This is I don't really know. In such a films in Hollywood, they're playing this. Lily was here. I think Amy Duffer. I don't really know, but I think is her right name, her artist name.
Oh, okay.
She playing
Yeah,
saxophone.
sometimes I've DJ'd at Underground, at After Hours at Avalon, which is a big after hours thing in Hollywood, and on Friday and Saturday nights. And I'd get my drums there. I have my saxophone. I have my violin. I'd have my keyboard. Sometimes I just have my microphone and I'd go straight on. I don't really do after hours anymore. It's been a little bit since I got in grad school. I needed to like focus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I graduate, but and there was so much fun just being there and seeing some people come out with their, just the free flow of sometimes you can only be when music brings a catalyst, of freeing the soul,
Jamming,
but
jamming, music jamming. It's like a session, and you have the jamming session, and then comes something good out. I think the most time comes something good out when people jamming together.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. No, sister, really, really cool. That is really cool for me. So, can I asking you about the question? Is you got three favorite artists? Can you name three of your favorite artists?
Frank Sinatra, Gladys Knight and the Pimps. And I would also have to say Paul Van Dyke.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That is really really cool. That's just different genres you're coming up with. Yeah, I can say yeah. That is yeah. You don't listen or you don't focus on only one genre. That is, I think, is
No, I've
yeah.
had the influence of everything. As a matter of fact, I didn't know about hip hop till I got here to America. And I
Uh
was like, what is going on with this? Because the
huh.
vibration of hip hop, right? The vibration of hip hop is like negative 60 hertz. So it automatically like makes sense why people are angry that listen to hip hop
Okay.
because it doesn't follow through. It's amped and then they get stuck and you get frustrated, right?
Mhm.
So I love being able to feel music. Like there's nothing like going to a good blues bar or BB King or
Oh yeah,
go
yeah,
into
yeah.
the club and just nice blues, nice jazz,
Mm. Yeah.
And then of course the influence of being around the Middle East and and Arabic music.
Oh
That
yeah, yeah,
drum, the heartbeat, and
yeah.
so I found myself hanging out with a lot of shamans and Indians, right? Native Americans here in America, because the beat of the drum was a lot like my home in Saudi
Oh
Arabia, and
yes,
being able
yes.
to be in sweats and be around, it's just been an incredible
Yeah.
journey. Um,
That
but
that
I don't
gives.
listen to all music. I'm careful because
Okay.
I'm careful what puts into my music. I'm careful about what goes into my mind
Mhm.
and what goes into my heart.
Oh.
And a lot of times, especially in Hollywood, as we call it here, um, we actually know that they're putting messages in the music to harm the spirit and mind and soul, to
Mm.
corrupt a certain way. And I stand up against that stuff. I stand up against the sigils, and I
Okay.
stand up, and we all have the right to have freedom, right? But if people are taking over that freedom through mind control, it's not okay.
No, no.
So that's why I make music like this, because that saxophone breaks through anything,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that was really cool sound. So, then can I ask you about your next projects? You got something coming up soon?
Yes, I do. I actually got the opportunity on August 1st. There's a couple projects. So I actually got the opportunity to speak on stage with Les Brown and a whole crew of famous speakers that are global speakers, and I get to tell the opportunity of my life. And I wrote a book, Death Doesn't Know My Name. It's on Amazon and Kindle, and it's about me overcoming a childhood of sex slavery and my parents selling me, and what I had to go through in order to realize who I am today. And today, I can tell you, I'm grateful for all of my experiences, right? And I'm grateful for cancer. I'm grateful for every John that wanted to hurt me. I'm grateful for my family, everything, because it's all made who I am today. Because I live to tell the truth about what is really happening. And in a time like this, survivors of sexual abuse, child slavery, human trafficking, even I'm going to go so far to say God may even want to save a pimp, okay? Because we're all humans that got caught up, that God wants everyone to know there's a way out. You know, I don't really do churches. I have a very special place where I go with my people that love me, but, you know, and worship God. But I got to tell you that we got to step up as a mighty people and call back our land, call back our children, call back our communities, call back our states and our nations and our globe for what is at hand. And it's certainly not the underground world with the sex slave industry.
No, no, no.
So I live to tell the truth about it and survive. And they can't kill me. They suck at it, you know, and because I suck at dying, you know, no matter what they do, they can't kill me, you know, and God's provided beautiful things. And, the devil can come up to me any day and try to play games with me. And I remind him who his God is and who created him. And I remind him how many angels are coming after him.
Oh.
So, because it is a spiritual war.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's really, I'm really impressed by your life story. I will also try to catch in a book and try to read in this. I'm not. I
Yes,
think.
I will send you a link, and I'll send you a link to all the other ones too,
Okay.
because 3 weeks ago, COVID didn't stop me, right? I just got focused. So I opened up a culinary school, a specialty culinary school, because thanks to cancer, I make food that eliminates disease. And I make food that brings your body back into wholeness, and it's living food, right? So I teach about this. And so I've written 10 books specifically for my culinary school that you can get when you participate with my culinary school. And then I also wrote another book about fumbling into intimacy, because when you come out of sex slavery and human trafficking or incest or anything like this, you really don't understand what love is. So I actually took the time to go coming back to God and finding yourself. And when I run into God and I crash into God and I just lose myself in Abba Father, I find who I am, because I am everything He wants me to be.
Yeah, yeah. No, really, really, sister. I'm really impressed what you're telling all the time to me here the first time is really, I can say, and you standing there and you are really, yeah, your whole, you are shining bright as a star. I can say this is
Thank
really,
God.
really impressive for all this what happened to you and your life. And I would say, I'd take my hat off if I had a head.
We're all taking off the hair, everything.
No, really, really. I can say I bow down for you. I say, yeah. So this is really, really great. That is really great.
Thank you.
What you're doing in your life, and yeah, all your whole. When I look at you, I say, no, this people, this woman never go to crazy things. She looking so strong, and yeah, that is really
And
for
it's
me.
amazing too because I look younger now than I did before I ever came out of cancer. I have pictures of me modeling when I was a child, and I looked older than I do now because when you find God and you find out who you are, you don't have to ever worry about dying because dying is of the, dying is illusion. You're living once you know God is and who He is and you have Him in your heart, it's an illusion. You'll never die again. Dying is programmed, right? And I know that people are like, oh, well, I get old, my body, and I'm like, no. The ancient civilizations, they lived until like, I mean, what, Noah was like 973 years old. I mean, could you imagine being almost like 100 having a kid? You know, that you know, I really think about that in the old Torah and old covenant. And I really ponder on some of these things because it was these things that really brought inspiration on how, oh, wait a minute, my life is wrong. How do I make it right? By understanding the precepts and understanding how others before me had actually done it, right? Without selling their soul, without selling their body, without selling their family, without selling their job or their gifts that God gave them, who created them, right? So I think this is something that's really amazing. And people, even though I have no family, there are people in my life that have witnessed me in recovery overcome. They have seen me walk out of darkness. They have seen me change my music. They have, whether they wanted to or not, all of LA has witnessed me become alive and stand up to the devil in Hollywood and say, no, you can't touch me. I'm God's Almighty's. And that's what we need to do. We, as a mighty people, need to come to the fact where we can say, "No, you don't touch me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm created for greatness," and that's it.
Your sister, really, you are really, yeah. I'm really astonished by your story, your history. So that is really, really, that is really. I don't thought about this happen, and thanks to deceive you again that he
Yes,
connected us together. Was really a nice talking for me. So what can I tell you,
yeah,
sister? Yeah, I'm done for today. Real talk with Heron.
yes,
We can meet us again. It's no problem. But today I'm
yes.
done, and I wanna give you now some time for shout outs to your family, your friends, or everybody they call.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to be sharing this with so many people and all my fans, and I have people praying for me right now that this would go good because I was preparing for this. So I'm going to be sharing it with all my networks and everything. And I just want to thank all my fans and all my people that love me and my tribe, right? And I just also want to shout out to all the survivors out there that are hearing this right now that think there's not another way and you're doing a fix right now. I want to say get down that fix and look up because there's a new day coming for you, and know that you're not alone, and there are survivors that are survived, and we've lived to tell the truth, and you're not alone. We will stand with you, and no more sex slavery. We are human beings made for greatness, not for sale.
That's that.
Neither is our soul for sale.
That is really, 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 you're making a really good point of this, and this is for me. Yeah, 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 sister. Yeah, I'm wordless. I can say this time I would say I must watching also your books there, and I want to read this and have some more infos about you. And this is really, yeah. We can meet us again all the time if you like
Yes,
this.
absolutely.
We can coming up again. Yeah, but for today I can say Real Talk with Tehran. I'm out today.
Yes, thank you.
I got a
It was so nice to
wonderful,
meet you. Thank you.
wonderful guest, DJ MelSan. That is
Yes,
right. That is
yes,
right. Was in
yes.
the house from California. Real Talk with Tehran, Berlin, Germany. I'm out. Peace out to California.
Bye. Thank you.
Peace.